Hello, I'm back again. Uh, Last night I was doing the music show with Kathy, and we got about 45 minutes in or so. I think I got to Joe Cocker, and then everything shut down. The internet, I couldn't even make a cell phone call. I wanted to call the internet company, but I couldn't make any kind of cell phone call. Just everything shut down. So I don't know if it was a solar flare or what was going on, or the satellites are going out or something. But yeah, the internet slowed down to a crawl. It would either do that or just completely shut down completely. And when it come back and forth. And before the evening was done, it finally had come back to pretty normal, the speed of it. But that's why when you watch the music special and you see a little bit after Joe Cocker is talked about, I think I go off first, and then Kathy does, and then we both do, and everything shuts down. So I thought we would come back tonight and maybe do about an hour, not a full show, but, continue what we were talking about last night, the music we were talking about. And like I said before, this is something we definitely could do several episodes of, talking about favorite music, favorite bands, favorite solo artists, soundtracks, things like that. So we're giving this another try tonight, and hopefully we can do a full show tonight. And I'm going to add my sister here. Hang on. There she is.
Hey, Jay.
Hang on. Let me get yeah, there we go. Hey, sis.
Hey. Yeah, I think it gave me like a whole minute after we lost you, so I just ran down through real quick.
Yeah.
And
But yeah, and it was crazy because I couldn't even make a cell phone call, which was really weird.
Yeah, that's unnerving, honestly.
Yeah, it was. And so I had nothing. I couldn't watch any streaming stuff or anything. But nothing would work. And then it would come back, but it would be just real slow. It'd come back enough to where I could check email or something. But so hopefully we're back in shape. And like I say, we'll do an hour ish.
Yeah, back in the saddle.
Hopefully we will. Hopefully we won't get shut down again.
Yeah. Did you ever set up your new TV?
Not yet. Still in the box.
Well, that's a job. I'm sorry, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's. I mean, I'll do it eventually. But like I say, I've been watching this mainly streaming stuff anyway, so which I can do on this TV. So.
Yeah. Well, once I get started, well, that's all I have. That and what actual media that I have for my DVD player. But that's what I do. I'm happy with streaming.
Yeah, I am too, and I'm saving $130 a month. So
yeah, I'm glad you evaluated it.
That's quite a bit for us. That's quite a bit of money.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Sure enough. Yeah.
But yeah. What's anything to talk about today that's happened on your end?
No, not a whole lot. I had a good about 40-minute conversation with our cousin Joy in East Texas. She's fostering a little kitten, and she's got a pretty good a big dog. Yeah. And so she just sent me a quick picture with her holding the kitten. She said, "I'm fostering this kitten." And I messaged her back and I said, "Who are you kidding? You got a new kitten." I said, "There's no way you're going to let that kitten go." But it's real skinny. And she got it. Lori had rescued it, but Lori also has another kitten now. And that other kitten was whooping this one's up and down. And Joy said, "The little thing's just skin and bones." So we had to separate them. So when she got me come there, little Calico has a pretty little kitten. She says, and I said, "Well, how does your dog Bella like it?" She said she just ignores her like she's not there. Yeah. But anyway, other than visiting with Joy, I'm still packing my backpack along for Monday to go with April, to go meet April for her surgery and stuff. And you got to think, it's like packing for about a 3-day trip because I'm not taking a whole lot, but I'm like, okay, I got 2 different kinds of chargers I got to carry. one for that breathing thing, and then my phone charger, And
And
then
what is the operation she's having again?
she's having her gallbladder removed
Yeah.
at a day surgery. So all in all, they said it should take, but she's got to have a support person there because she can't. Of course, she definitely can't drive, and for maybe up to they don't want to drive for a couple of weeks. She's hoping 9-day recovery she can go back to work, but we'll see. But anyway, and she's going to be coming out from under anesthesia, so they can't put her in an Uber to go home because that's not trustworthy. So they can't do that because she's going to be on some heavy narcotics. And I told her, no, I will be thrilled. So I'm going to take an Uber from my house up to the surgery center. And then she's driving up to the surgery center that morning and Monday. And then I'll drive her over, back to her house after the surgery. But it's 3 or 4 hours. So I just.
But it's and she'll go home after the surgery?
Yep.
It's an outpatient thing?
Yeah, they call it a day surgery. Yeah, it's an outpatient. It's a surgery center. It actually is a surgery center in a hospital.
Did they actually cut into you, or did they go in through like your thigh or something like that?
No. This is really cool. They make some little holes in her, and they used to have to cut you from elbow to almost. I mean, big old scars. I remember seeing mamas thinking, "What is that?" And she said, "Well, I have a gallbladder out." And I said, "Oh," but anyway, yeah. But they're doing it with laser. They're lasering it out of her. I don't know how that all works, Jay. I guess go in there and suck it out. I don't know.
Well, and I had that last hernia surgery because I'd had 2 hernia surgeries on both sides of my groin where your damn colon pokes through because you lift too much. And on both sides of my groin, I had 20 something years ago, I had a surgery on the left side. And then here about 5, 6 years ago, I had the one on the right side.
Yeah.
And the one on the left side, they put me back together with staples.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
But on the right side, the recent one I had on the right side, they glued that shit together like super glue. They just glue you back together.
Isn't that amazing?
And it's glue. It's little glue is what it is. And it peels off, over like a week, it peels off.
Yeah.
That's what they tell you. Just leave it alone, but, let it peel off on its own,
Yeah. It's amazing.
Little glue. They just literally just glue you back together.
Yeah. Listen, check in this day. Make sure you've had nothing to eat or drink past midnight and bring a big bottle of Elvis glue to your surgery.
Well, it's like basically it looks like that's glue. It looks like clear glue.
Yeah.
They glue you back together.
Yeah, they do a lot of wound care these days. Instead of doing staples, if it's not real deep and you need 7 or 8 stitches, a lot of times they'll just glue it back. It's pretty cool that they can do that. But anyway, so that's all I've been doing,
Well, I walked down. That's what I've been the last several days. Most days I've been walking down to Marissa and Tim's and putting the kayak out and watching the swallows. And that's what I've been in the evenings. What I've been enjoying doing. 3 or 4 o'clock. Going down there and putting the kayak out. And there's a couple of folks. I guess they live there in that campground too. But they put out jet skis, and man, they're just doing donuts and they're really doing all kinds of loop-de-loops, and man, they're really cutting it up. So I kind of wait until they've sort of settled down. So I put the kayak out.
Yeah, it can tempt you.
But they're just they're doing it, doing cutting loop-de-loops and shit, and really going nuts.
Yeah.
And Blair says, "Hey Jay, hey Blair, hey Blair."
Hey Blair.
Hey Blair.
We're back in the saddle after our show went down on us last night.
Well, hopefully we'll get through this one without without incident. But and finally, it's just hot, but it ain't.
Yeah.
The only chance of rain is like a 20% chance next Wednesday, and they said it probably won't even happen then.
Yeah.
Just hot, you know.
So hunker down to just the summer. The Texas heat's hit.
Yeah.
It's time. No more
Well, I
rain.
mean that's something I can handle the heat,
Yeah. I just
but
go for
that
air
damn crazy raining and storming that we had
flood.
in May, particularly in May, was just
Yeah.
insane. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm ready for the summer. Bring it on.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I got it down to an art, 50 years ago. Yeah, that's about right. I go from air conditioner to air conditioner. So I leave here and I would go out when I had my car before it got totaled. That's okay. It happens. Uh, I had real good air conditioner in that sucker. And then anybody I ride with, I'm riding in like Lexus and fancy cars. Yeah, I rode in a BMW the other day. I saw I ain't there. They're little inside. Never in one of them.
Well, I rode with. Was it yesterday we went to Walmart? I think it was yesterday. I went with Marissa in their truck. Well, their truck, their air conditioner's broken in the truck, so it just a
Yeah.
bunch of windows rolled down. All the windows
Yeah.
rolled down. Winds
Old school.
didn't bother me none. But
Yeah.
she said, "Well, no, we don't have a working air conditioner, so this is our air conditioner. The wind." I said, well, "That's fine with me." Uh, but
Yeah, April's air conditioner on her Patriot Jeep went out. Last year, it would make a horrible noise and then it'd blow a little bit. So she got it into our trusted mechanic that we always used. And he said, I can do it, April, but it's going to be over $1,000. I think she said her and Darren got a loan for 2,000. And I think it took the bulk of that, but she got her compressor done. Her air conditioner. She said, listen, I got to have my air conditioner in my car, And she leaves. She has to be at work. I think at 7. I think at 7. So I mean, she leave, but she said, "Mommy, you know how it is. Even at night, it's going to be 90 or above it anyway. It don't really cool down on us
yeah,
when
that's in Texas when it gets to be around July and August. Overnight, we're talking mid 80s.
If we're lucky. If we're lucky.
If you're lucky, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then during the daytime, 110 degrees. And what they call the heat index, where it might be 100 degrees, but the heat index is 120.
Yes. Yeah. I love how they say heat index means what it feels like.
It's the feels like temperature. Yeah.
I say, well, it feels like hot. I don't care. You can put any scale you want to on it. Hot. And then they worry about old people like me, not having enough air conditioning. And they have fan drives up here where the big box fans are donated and they give it out to people. And I'm thinking to myself, a box fan blows air. It blows room air. It blows hot air.
Blows hot air. Yeah.
I couldn't handle that. I can't.
I got this, window AC on, but I got it like 83 or something like that.
Well, see, I keep mine at 80, and it works perfectly fine to cool this little place down. If I don't have to go in and out my doors, and if I do that, I got 3 fans in here that I sleep under. A little one that blows on my face, a box fan, and then the ceiling fan. They just brought me a new ceiling fan, so I got plenty of air in my bedroom. But so I like today, I only went outside once, and that was to go to the mailbox. Yes, here, I have one thing, and then we can jump into music if you want to. But here's one thing I have a problem with. I'm not addicted to Temu, but yesterday I got a Temu order in, right? I got me some of them towels, them cotton towels.
Yeah, I love them things.
But
I got, was it 2 packages unopened? I got one open.
Open. I got that 200 count, just that one package.
Yeah, I use them every day. Did cleaning my glasses. I put
just cleaned them.
In my glasses.
Yeah, just cleaned it.
But I like the suggestions on the bag. One of them is hang on, I'll get it because this is Temu is a Chinese company.
Yeah.
That's why it takes you 2 weeks to get your shit. And it's free shipping if you buy $20 worth.
Yeah.
But I love their version of English, how they try to approximate, English, the English language. And here's a suggestion for cotton tissue is what they call it, cotton tissue.
Yeah. Yeah. And boy, they're strong.
Now, I don't know what Gravida and baby. Now, what is gravida? Is gravida baby in another language?
Might be. You'd have to Google it.
Gravida and baby, acne on skin. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Well, if you got acne on your skin, how's this supposed to help
Well, I
you?
guess. I guess you.
You can apply alcohol,
There you
product.
go. You can also,
Yeah.
I like to tell everybody though when we talk about them, they're not wet.
They're not
They're
wet,
dry.
and they're real tough. I mean, I couldn't
Yeah.
tear one if I tried. Yeah, try to tear it, you can't.
No,
It's tough as hell.
I
But
like it.
they're little cotton tissues. Right. But yeah, they're not wet. They're not moistened. But anyway, sensitive skin, which okay, sensitive skin. I
Well,
guess
they're real soft.
they're soft. So
Yeah.
remove makeup. Okay, that makes sense. Remove
There you
makeup.
go.
But then here's my favorite: menstrual period. So
Honestly, they're not very big that you're going to be using them, and I don't know how absorbent they would
yeah,
be. And I for
menstrual period. So,
for
but
quite a
I'm
while.
just reading what's on the thing here. I'm not trying to get the graphic here, but menstrual
No, I
period.
know. Yeah. So I hadn't had that problem for
And,
many,
and,
many,
and, and
many
it's got a
years.
little picture of a woman's area. So menstrual period.
I got mine buried down here in one of my. I got one of those rolling cart things with the 3 shelves, and I got my package buried down there where I can just pull one out as I need it, and I'd have to unpack stuff on top of it just to get to the package.
Well, I'm
But I
also
don't need it.
I'm not addicted to Timu, but I like to have a package cut.
Okay, I got one coming now. I was going to tell you.
I don't have another one coming right now. But my shopping cart is full, and I'm about to pull the trigger. But there's a couple of things that I'm thinking of getting through Amazon first. So I'm I'm kind of weighing the consequences.
Yeah.
Because the thing is with Timu, you spend $30 on Amazon, you might get one item, maybe 2 items. You spend $30 at Timu,
You got a cart
50,
full.
16
Yeah.
items.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I did. Um, I went through I got almost everything I need to finish doing the big doll house and some little rooms too that I want to do. But I needed a few more things. And so I thought, well, heck, when I receive a package is when I sit down and go through my cart, and take out what I don't want. I think today's ended up being $25, of stuff. But after I get this one, then I probably won't need anything for quite a while,
Yeah. Well, let's talk about music.
Oh,
Let's continue to talk about music. Now,
Yeah.
yesterday I had said there's only a few things in your growing up throughout your life. There's only a few things that is more important than music. Well, food, of course, is important, and oxygen and such as that. having your a family, your parents,
And religion. A lot of people have
religion maybe, but
Mhm.
music is right up there as far as something that you lean to, that you turn to pretty much every day. You listen to some kind of music every day. I listen to music. Usually it's in the morning when I'm doing my push-ups, and I have Alexa. She's blinking, so I need to shut up. It's her, and and I tell her to play something called My Likes and More. And what she does is play a loop of the music that you play frequently.
Yeah, your playlist, I call it.
Playlist, yeah. My Likes and More, it's called. And so I do my push-ups and I listen to My Likes and More. And so it's a bunch of Pink Floyd and a bunch of, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers and a bunch of Eurythmics. And it's this guy who I thought would be the first person you would bring up yesterday.
Well, now here's the deal. I knew you were going. You had the albums. I have a bunch of his CDs, but a bunch of them are not in sleeves or anything. I just have them on my car thing. But Prince, I've got 2 Prince tattoos. For anybody that don't know, you need to know. Huh?
Can we see them?
No, it'd be real hard
You got the symbol, the
the Prince symbol.
What do they call that symbol?
He didn't call it anything. He said that's his symbol.
I think it's kind of like a male and female.
Yeah, but he just said it's a symbol that he used. And he's had it. He used it for many, many years, but then he used it for his name for a long time. Then after he got out of his contract,
Yeah.
with Warner,
It
then
was for a while known as the artist formerly known as Prince.
yeah. But he said that he didn't do that. That was media for a
Yeah,
better
he
time of
didn't
him.
do that. He was just
No, the
he was just
media.
whoever. He was just a no name,
Yeah,
performer.
but
But he would on his face he would write slave,
well,
uh,
yeah.
because it was about the record company. That he didn't have the rights to his music. He didn't own his music, uh, and they were making him put out records per his contract that he didn't really want to put out. He wanted to wait and work on his music, but they would no, we need it, we need it, we need it. So he put out several albums that are kind of substandard because they wanted music. So he had to put out music that really he wanted to spend
Well,
time and work on it. You know, uh,
also the main thing about that timing was too, he didn't like being told when he could release music. He wanted to release a whole lot more, quicker is the problem. And they said, no, we only need this amount at this time. And he's like, well, I want to release what I want when I want. And they're like, no, you're under contract to do this.
yeah,
So it wasn't that he has a vault he left with millions, he said, of, oh, sorry, of music in it. That's not the deal. Is they controlled his output, and that's what. And of course, he wanted his masters back too. But that was mainly. So this is Texas.
yeah, and he wanted, and I'm not sure if I understand the question. Jay, what is the program you use for your thumbnails? I'm not quite sure if I'm understanding what you're asking me. Do you mean that like the Being Real banner? Is that what you mean? Or you need to be a little more specific. I'm not quite understanding what you
Hey,
mean.
Texas.
Yeah. Hey, Texas.
That's all I have to call you. I'm sorry.
Another Texan. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what you mean by thumbnails. So, I don't
Yeah.
use any kind of program. I just, honestly, I don't. And it
Well,
was CK made the Creepy Kentuckian of Dead Pit made my banners. The
yeah.
banners.
And you use StreamYard,
Yeah.
but other than that,
But
yeah.
anyway, this is the Controversy album,
Mhm.
and it love thy neighbor. Do you believe in God? President signs Gun Control Act. Anti-Christian sentenced to die.
I think that's the album that he put out, Controversy, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because all that,
Are you straight or gay?
yeah,
Or am I straight or gay or whatever?
yeah,
But anyway, really good music. Amazing guitarist. He was right up there with Jimi Hendrix as far as his guitar, prowess.
yeah. Well, he was way ahead of Hendrix after a while because somebody asked Eric Clapton one day, "What does it feel like to be the most talented musician ever alive? Guitar player." He said, "I don't know. You'll have to ask Prince." And that's true. That I'm sorry. Yes, am I biased? Oh, yes, baby, I'm biased.
He even make it sing. And well, Kathy saw him live twice. You and April saw Prince live.
Yeah, we
twice.
were on had floor seats right on top of the stage once, and then up in the stands a little bit the second time. But there is some of his songs that everybody knows Purple Rain. Yeah, I know it's a certain program, but I don't remember the name of it. Texas is saying.
Well, yeah, and I don't know. Honestly, sir, I don't know. Because, like I say, it was Wes of Dead Pit that made those banners. And
That
so
was not him.
I'm not sure what program he used to make those, if that's what you're asking, because he just sent them to me. And so,
yeah, you might ask him on deadpit.com.
yeah,
He might not share. Now, I wanted to mention 4 Princes before we get off Prince, because, that's my man. My daughter got in my car one time. She said, "Mom, can I borrow your car around the store?" I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead, girl." Anyway, she gets in the car, and my visor, I have one of those things that hook on the visor that holds CDs. And there was 15 different Prince CDs in it. She said, She said, it took a picture of it. She said, you can tell you borrowed your mom's car when I was in there as Prince. And that's pretty much right? Of
Yeah.
course, I turned you on to John Mayer, and it's different people I listen to.
Yeah.
Bruno Mars, about, but still. But there's 4 songs of Prince that I really, really like that I go back to that people may have never heard of. And you can find them on YouTube. He actually did music videos. One of them is Somebody. And it's really sweet. It's kind of a ballad. And the other one is SHHH, and that's Racy. And the other one is International Lover, and that one is just full of innuendos, but it's so good.
Well,
He's
and of course, when he began, and of course through the Purple Rain years, and even beyond that, he was really racy. He would curse. He would be very sexually upfront. you know, songs like "Jack You Off" and "Pussy Control," and
head.
but then at some point in his
Well,
later career, he
yeah.
turned
Well,
Jehovah's Witness.
we saw him in 2002 or 3, and that's when Musicology came out. And that's when he wanted to let you bring your whole family, kids and everybody,
He
and
cleaned
let them
it up.
totally redid lyrics on a lot of his songs so he could bring some of them back. The 4th one that I didn't mention is Peach, and it's just real cute. It's not. A Dot would sing it when she was 4 because I played it so much. But it's the man could play blues, a man could do jazz, a man could rap, the man could play all
There was
instruments.
several other artists that he donated music to.
Well, yeah,
What was that? Who was it? The Bangles, Magic Monday.
yeah. I
Uh,
think that was the Bengals. Yeah,
and of course, probably the most famous and probably the one that made the most money was Sinead O'Connor's "Nothing Compares to You."
yeah. Well,
And
he also let Alicia Keys re-record it. And I saw one show where Alicia Keys is on one keyboard, one piano. He's got his piano backed up to hers, and they're playing it together. And that's something to see.
that's one of my favorite songs, just period. Not just favorite Prince songs, but just one of my favorite songs. And there's a great, look it up on YouTube, a great Chris Cornell version.
Yeah, that was good. That was really good.
And it was
Yeah,
sad because a few years later he committed suicide and killed himself.
yeah,
Of Soundgarden, and of course a bunch of solo stuff.
yeah.
And what was the other group he was in? Someone named it what the Audio Slave, is that what's the name of it? Well, I forget what the what the other group was. But anyway, yeah. But look up Chris Cornell's version of that, of Nothing
Yeah,
Compares.
it was really good. It was really good. And
Uh,
then people did tribute to him when he passed, and there's some really good tributes that these artists did because they all respected him. I hated the way he went, but they all respected him for his
and like
musical.
you said, at his studio vault or something like that, there's just thousands and thousands
Yeah, and
of unreleased music.
you can see him earlier years. Not, I mean, I'm talking in the late '90s when Arsenio Hall came back with that show. They let him have a show. It didn't make it long, but Peach is a great song. Yeah, the day he passed, y'all, I was getting out of my car and I took it really, really, really hard. It was really hard. And I know people think, oh, it's an artist. You know what? Y'all don't understand. I followed everything that the man put out from the time he started putting it out, and I own all of it. And I played it often, And I was getting out of my car, Texas, and I thought, what am I hearing? I heard Purple Rain playing half a block away. I mean, loud. I heard P Control, that one, playing 2 doors down. And on the other side of me, I heard, another one of his really, Kiss. And I'm thinking, I stood in my yard and just bawled and squalled. And my son-in-law come out and he said, "You okay, Mom?" I said, "I'm not okay." And I wasn't, y'all, for about a week and a half. I said, it was like when JFK got shot. It was such a shock to me that I'm like, I don't know this man,
Yeah.
but I've loved his music for so
Well,
many years.
of course, he brought if I was your girlfriend. That's a good song.
Yeah, yeah.
And oh gosh, there's so many. There's
We
so
could do a whole show on Prince. Are
because
you kidding
Purple
me?
Rain is just this goes to it just leads to sort of like this an epic
Raspberry beret,
Raspberry Beret.
diamonds and pearls. Come
Oh
on,
God, that was why yeah,
we could
Diamonds
just
and Pearl, uh,
keep going and going and
Cream, uh,
Batman.
yeah, Batman. Yeah,
Batman.
he did the soundtrack for Tim Burton's Batman. Did music for it. He didn't do
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
Tim.
Well, he's got a
Danny
video.
Elfman did the music, but he did the songs. He put out an album.
Yeah,
For
yeah, he did.
uh,
Yeah,
oh
and
God.
then had a
Well,
brief
we could do a
affair.
whole show. We could do a whole show just on
Yeah.
Prince.
And he had a brief affair with Kim Basinger right after that too, to where her brother had to come to the studios and said, "Listen, you should have a contract coming up for a movie. You got to leave." She didn't want to leave him. It was cute.
But
Okay,
yeah. That's the other group that Chris Cornell was in, Audio Slave. So yeah,
there you go.
and that's a really good group too. It's got the guitarist that was
Yeah,
in Rage Against the Machine, uh, and that's a good group too. That and Soundgarden
yeah,
and his solo stuff.
yeah.
Chris Cornell, but
Now
uh,
I've got three I want to do real quick, and I'll hand
yeah,
it back. No, I was gonna let you start us off with Prince.
well, no, yeah, we
Um,
started. Yeah, like I say, you didn't bring him up yesterday. I say I can't believe she's not bringing up Prince.
no, I
Yeah,
was gonna let you lead that band.
okay.
But it's not that I didn't want to. I just thought, man, I got to go get all my CDs out. But I remember 90% of his music anyway by heart.
Well, like that, and it's a good picture of him, and so we.
Yeah, that was a good year. He was, there wasn't a time the man didn't look good, I don't think. Okay, now, so in 1978, though, there was a singer, and I don't know, I'd like to think, I'm sorry, y'all, my sinuses are just, I'd like to think that it wasn't a one hit wonder, but it might have been. His name was Nick Gilder or Gilden. I don't know if it was uh oh, there was also Temple of the Dog with members of Pearl Jam, Jay, that
Yeah,
Chris.
yeah, and that is real good too. That is oh, what is that song? I love. There's a one song that I really love that they sang.
Nick Gilder did Hot Child in the City. Hot
Yeah,
Child in
Hot
the
Child in the
City.
City.
Yeah,
Gilder. There you go. Texas is Gilder. So
yeah, Gilder, thank you. And then Stevie Ray Vaughan put out 1985, Couldn't Stand the Weather.
mhm.
That whole album is excellent, but I love blues, so don't go by me.
Well,
Uh,
another great guitarist, Stephen Ray Vaughan. He died in a helicopter crash.
way too soon.
Yeah, way too
Yeah.
young.
And then my third one, before I hand it back, I know this is unappealing. I'm sorry, y'all. I think Prince, it just made me cry a little bit. Okay. Leonard Skinner's Sweet Home Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's three, and I'll hand it back.
Okay. Well, let's see who I'll do next. Oh gosh. Well, who on the planet doesn't like this artist? And to speak up if you don't, but I think you're probably lying if you say, "Oh no, I don't like him," because everybody that breathes likes Elton John.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I loved. I guess I owned two of his albums when I was a kid, and a bunch of 45s when I was
Well,
a
that was
teenager.
the thing with him. I remember the most was the 45s. Like I spoke about
Right.
this jukebox at the concession that Daddy
Yeah.
ran. We had a jukebox, and the dude that would come and change out the 45s from the jukebox would often give us the 45s. He would let us have them.
Yeah.
So we had just stacks and stacks. And between you and me, we would ship them back and forth.
Yeah.
But I had a little cheap record player. You had a better record player in your room.
Yeah. I had that console kind, they
I had
call
a
it.
cheap little record player. But playing this probably had half a dozen Elton John 45s.
I loved Rocket Man.
Yeah, and this one is a best of. It says Your Song, which is one of his most famous songs. Your Song.
Yeah.
Daniel, Honky Cat,
Okay.
Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting, And Rocket Man. There's your Rocket Man.
Yeah.
But Benny and the Jets.
Yeah.
Don't let the sun go down on me. Border Song and Crocodile Rock.
There you go. I remember when Rock was young.
Yeah.
You and me had so much fun.
And what it was, and even to, I don't know if he is on his last tour. I don't know if he's completed that or not,
Yeah.
John, where he's going to stop. He's quit. Basically, he's retired. Um, and he's a gay man. He's married to another man, and they've got a little boy. Or
I got two kids. I got two kids. Yeah.
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 But countless songs. And like I say, who in the world doesn't like Elton
I
John?
love the tribute he did when Diana passed, that he did for her.
Yeah, well, he was actually there and sang, and it was what was it? It was originally written about Marilyn Monroe, and he sang it. It changed the words a little bit.
Yeah, he restarted.
Diana.
Yeah, because he was friends with her.
Yeah, they were good friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, Elton John, come on, everybody just like everybody, young and old, loves it.
Listen, if you don't like Elton John, we can't be friends.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to say you're probably not telling the truth. I don't like Elton John. No, yeah, you do.
Don't tell me somewhere.
You like
yeah.
Everybody likes Elton John.
What's the one that he did? Everybody Likes the Blues.
Yeah. His
okay.
I love his version of what was it? Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Yeah, and he did that one. That everybody's got the blues sometime. Yeah. That's the way it went. Yeah, and that one just always got me. It was beautiful,
And from almost his whole career, he wrote the music, and Bernie Taupin wrote. Was it Taupin or Taupin? Taupin? I think it's Taupin. Bernie Taupin. Someone correct me if I'm wrong here. Bernie Taupin. That was his partner. He wrote the lyrics of all the songs. Bernie Taupin wrote all the lyrics, and Elton John wrote all the music. And that was their team, their collaboration. Bernie wrote the words. He wrote the music.
Listen, we need to give Texas props. He said, I'm smart. We know you are, and we appreciate your input, man.
And he says that's why they call it the blues.
Thank you, Texas. See, that one gets me every time, gets me verklempt, because if you've ever been in love and you've ever had a heartbreak, well, it speaks to you. And
who was it that he sang, Don't Go Breaking My Heart? Who was it that he sang that with? Don't Go Breaking My Heart.
I don't know.
Maybe in Texas, do you know who that is? He sang that. But of course, Elton John. So that's an obvious choice. But you got to bring up Elton John. So.
Since I'm mentioning artists, and my favorite song from them, basically, is the way I'm doing it instead of Works. I'm gonna bring up a band that I found in 1971, and I was playing it in my room. I'm 9 years older than Jay, and little Jay comes. And he used to, I was trying to do my homework all the time. He'd open doors, slam it, and I'd just scream. But you came and you opened the door and peeped in, and you go, sis, what's that? And I said, you want to hear it? And it was Led Zeppelin album I just got, 1971, playing Stairway to Heaven.
Oh, man, Stairway to Heaven.
And you were so cute. I always had my bed made up, and I said, no, I used to tell you, don't sit on my bed, Joe, you get messed up. But you said, sis, can I take my shoes off and sit on the bed? You sat there and listened to both sides of that album with me. You was a little fella, too.
I'm trying to see if I had some Zeppelin here. That'll be for the next one.
Yeah.
I've got several vinyls. I love Led Zeppelin. I've got several vinyls of Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, you do. And remember,
but I don't have any in the stack here. But yeah, Led Zeppelin, of course. Yeah, we'll talk again about Led Zeppelin.
Well, yeah, and I had those CDs put up because I had to get everything out of my car. But I had bought 2 of them when you and I were making a road trip one time, and we played them. The whole time we was gone. But anyway, I think we was going to Waco. We might have been going to Temple to get you ready for pre-op, which I came down with that virus. I got to the hospital and couldn't take you. Barry did it though, bless his heart, to surgery. But anyway, yeah. And then Jim Croce, 1973, bad Leroy Brown.
Man, Leroy, man.
Bad.
The whole downtown.
There you go.
Whole damn town.
And I'd already mentioned these.
A junkyard dog.
Yeah. And then the third one, I got 1972 Hollies, Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress. That's a good one too.
What else did Hollies? I'm trying to think. There's another Hollies song that I really like. I'm trying to.
I don't know, but I'm sure I've got it. I've got pages and pages and pages that I just wrote them down as they come to me, and then I look some of them up. You know.
Hang on. I'm doing a quick Google here because there's a song that I really like.
No, I got it twice. I think I found it. No, I got it twice. That was 1972 that they did that. One cool woman in a red dress. I don't pretend to be a singer. I promise I won't sing. I'm trying to find out. See, I was running into Top of the Pops is where I got some of these, and it is a British, show, kind of like American Bandstand, but they did Top of the Pops. And
he ain't heavy. He's my brother.
Yeah.
But just one look.
Just one look. Yeah. I like that.
I'm alive. But anyway, yeah, the Hollies. Okay.
There you
go.
Okay.
You got something else? Or?
I got 50 other else, but I'll do one more. And it is a group, came out in 1971. And I'm trying to figure out if Rod Stewart's a singer, but I don't think he is. But the group's called Faces.
Yeah.
And, I know I'm losing you. And I don't know if it kind of sounds like him and a little bit looks like Rod Stewart back in the day. But I don't know.
It may be Rod Stewart with Faces. Hang on just a
Yeah.
minute.
But I like them a lot.
Hang on. Faces group members. Okay. All right. Members at the links. Ian McLaughlin, Ronnie Lane, Kenny Jones. We're joined by guitarist Ronnie Wood and singer Rod Stewart.
I thought it was him, but in 71 he was awful young looking. So I thought it sounded a little bit like him, but he didn't have quite the gravelly that he ended up having, Yeah,
but yeah, okay. Rod Stewart was in Faces.
Thank you.
They have one now. Well, I'm looking it up, and if I had looked down here, I would see that Texas tells us Rod Stewart was in
Texas. So. I do a lot of research to try to get ready for these shows and be prepared. But I was writing them down so fast and furious because I would think of Faces, and then I'd think of Chicago, and then I'd think of so many more that you just kept flowing out of my brain because I'm a child of the 70s.
Well, I grew up. We'll do at least another one of these.
Oh, well,
we could do several episodes of this. So.
Yeah, we hadn't even gone anywhere near country.
And country, and soundtracks, things like that. I've got a few soundtracks here.
Yeah, we'll need to do that too.
But
back at you, buddy.
Okay. Now, the first time I heard this group, I'm trying to think. I guess it was we used to have a station called KZEW. That
was my sticker. My sticker you found.
Yeah, the Zoo. And it was an FM station, and they played all the latest rock and roll. It was rock and roll music, and it was pretty much the best radio station there was in this area for just rock and roll. KZEW. And I want to say it was on the zoo was the first time I heard this group. And I said, oh man, I love the sound, the guitar work, the percussion, and that singer who I didn't know his name until I learned his name was Sting.
Sting, Police. Yeah.
And Police. And this is the Ghost in the Machine album. And it's got Spirits in the Material World, Every Little Thing She Does is Magic.
Yeah.
Invisible Sun, Hunger for You, Demolition Man, Too Much Information, Rehumanize Yourself, One World, Mega Man, Secret Journey, and Darkness. But anyway, I just great vocalist Sting,
Oh yeah.
but just a great band overall. Just great, guitar work. Stuart Copeland, who did the drums and percussion, just great stuff, great music. And I think it was the first time I heard uh, the Police was on KZW, and it might have been Roxanne.
Probably, yeah.
You don't have to put on the red light, Roxanne. But yeah, one of the best. The Police.
Oh
And
man, yeah.
I've got several of their vinyls and CDs and stuff. That's one of the best groups, particularly of the '80s, was the Police.
Yeah.
And the Texas says he saw the Zenyatta Mandata tour, and that's Led Zeppelin. But was you there? Are you saying you were actually there?
Yeah, sounds like he was there. Yeah.
Uh,
Their riffs, oh my gosh. I could hear somebody playing Zeppelin 2 miles away and know it's him. I love their music.
Jimmy Page was the guitarist.
Yeah. By the time you were turned on to Pink Floyd, I was turned on to all the albums Led Zeppelin put out. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute. Was Zenyatta Mandata Zeppelin, or was that Pink Floyd? I'm trying to remember. You tell me, Tex, what that was. That was the Houston Music Hall. Huh. He said Houston Music Hall. So that was Zeppelin? But yeah, just amazing to be able to see them.
See, yeah. Like I said, it was a religious experience seeing Prince with my daughter, my grown daughter, both times. I bought tickets one time, and then she bought tickets and treated me the next. And we really, really are devoted fans to drive to Houston, Texas from Austin. Because let me tell you, driving in Houston is like going in Fallujah. Scary.
Oh no! That's the Police. Zenyatta Mandata. Yeah, that's right. That's the Police. And
the
third album. Yeah, Zenyatta Mandata. Okay.
Well, there you go.
We're getting straightened up here. But yeah, another one that would be fantastic to have been able to see them live.
Oh yeah, and see, here's the deal. A lot of these people that are coming back and grouping up, 2 or 3 bands together and having little concerts, people are like, well, how would y'all want to see old people? You don't understand. That's some of the best music that was ever put out. You know. Now Prince did come on and do the rest for me, but in our days, me coming right up, that's some of the best music. Okay, so I got 3. 1977. This beautiful women come on stage singing Magic Man, Heart. Great showing music. I bet it was.
Heart. Another one of my just favorite songs, period, is Barracuda.
Yeah.
Man, the guitar work in that song. On Barracuda. I love the guitar. But yeah, great. Who is it that's the singer?
Heart. Oh. Don't ask me stupid questions, man. I know the group. In fact, I saw her. She had a birthday the other day, the lead singer of Heart. I'm versed in some things, but some things I'd have to look up. Right. I'm not prepared.
I should know that. Is what's so sad about it is I should know
it. You younger than me. I just know what I like.
But no, I love Heart. And like I say, Barracuda. That's just one of my favorite songs. Period. but go ahead while I'm looking at it. It's
Okay,
it's sisters, Ann Wilson and Nancy Wilson.
there you go.
Yeah.
Nancy, I think, is the one that had the birthday recently. Okay, one of my favorite groups ever, and they put out an album called Black Cloud. And I love Black Cloud, that song, Foghat, 1978. And they also did Slow Ride. Slow
Slow,
Ride,
take
yeah,
it
take it,
easy.
yeah. And I love them. And talk about having fun. We would, living out in the country from small town, we'd all get out, build big bonfires, and all of us girls and guys would open the pickups and listen to it. And it was so good. And we would play what was what we wanted to hear. And Foghat was the one I always said, play Slow Ride, play Ted Nugent, Stranglehold, you know.
Stranglehold, man, that's another great one. Stranglehold. And Ted
Yeah,
Nugent, he lives in Texas, and I think around the Austin area or something like that, or
yeah.
Dallas or something.
I mean, yeah,
Often on the local station KWTX, they'll have either Ted Nugent on there or they'll have his wife. His wife does a lot of, I think she's like an artist or something like that. I don't know what she did. She does a
yeah,
lot of, charity work and stuff. Ted Nugent's wife, but you'll
yeah.
see Ted Nugent a lot, and he does a lot of touring in Texas. He lives in Texas, so
He's got a big old ranch.
yeah.
They've got a big old ranch.
But yeah,
The only concert I've ever been to is Def Leppard on the Adventure Tour. Ooh, I bet that
well,
one.
they said the Adrenalized tour.
Oh, sorry, I can't. I just
Yeah,
adrenaline. Sorry, I can't
Adrenalized tour.
do it. Um, yeah. Okay. So my third one, 1967. It may be a little before your time, but I think you'll know the song. Spencer Davis Group put out "I'm a Man."
Yeah,
I'm a man. Yes, I am.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. Okay, your turn.
Well, uh, here's another one. Uh, of course, the Beatles, probably one of the most popular rock groups or pop groups or
Dropping
whatever
this.
in history is the Beatles. Uh, but of course, Paul McCartney and
Wings.
Wings and you know it. They all had solo music. Did and pretty good, put out good solo albums. Uh, but this one I think is my of their solo careers. This is my favorite. This is the one that I turn to the most and listen to the most. And so that would be John Lennon. Uh, and this is the Imagine album, and of course that's a great song. This is the song
Yeah.
Imagine. And of course him and Yoko Ono, who back in the day they accused Yoko Ono of splitting the Beatles up. She didn't have anything to do with the
No,
Beatles.
I don't think she did either. I mean,
It was just they were growing apart. They were getting older. They all had their own music they wanted to
yeah,
play.
it was just there. It was just time, you know.
It was time.
I saw them. My daddy got me and my neighbor girl. We were 12, 13 when they were on Ed Sullivan. And Daddy said, "Listen, I read in Reader's Digest. The Beatles are going to be. They're coming over from London. They're going to be on Ed Sullivan. And I need you girls in here in front of this TV."
Huh.
And so we there was a chair that we could both sit in at the time, a high back chair. So we crawled in that chair, and Dad said, "Yeah, because now y'all, this is history." And he knew, you know. And I said, "Okay, Daddy, okay." We was excited. He said, "Y'all gonna like this music?" And boy, we loved it. Of course, you know. We was listening to the Supremes, and And he said, "Well, you gonna like this? You gonna like this?" And we did. And we enjoyed it so dang much. Oh, yeah, look at them.
Yeah, this is one of their compilation albums, greatest hits albums. They put out
Yeah,
several of those, but yeah, they're the Beatles. But yeah, John Lennon, he definitely was the most, I thought, original of the solo artists. His music got sort of deep. He got really personal. He would, he would throw some jabs at Paul McCartney in some of his albums. Uh, the first thing he put out was called Plastic Ono Band. Uh, and it's really personal. There's some great music on it, but there's a song called what is the name of it? I'm trying to think what the name of the song. I think it's just one word. But anyway, in the lyrics, he goes, "I don't believe in Beatles, you know. I just believe in me, Yoko and me." And
Yeah.
that's reality. Uh, and you know,
Well, I mean, all these guys, especially Paul McCartney and John Lennon, and George Harrison,
George Harrison.
they had such unique but very talented men. I mean, they would write and sing their own music, and they were wonderful artists in their own right. So it's only natural that they spun off by themselves.
Yeah, yeah. And let's see. I'm trying to see if anyone said anything else here. And I remember the day that I heard about this on the news. And his name was Mark David Chapman.
I'll be right back. Go ahead.
There's a picture that you can find that is one of the creepiest pictures you'll ever see of Mark David Chapman getting John Lennon's autograph. And then later, Mark David Chapman walked up to John Lennon and shot him dead. Shot him, I think, several times in the back. And I'm trying to. You can look it up how many times he was shot, where he was shot. But this man, Mark David Chapman, who I think at the time said he was upset at some of the lyrics that John Lennon had said. Back in the Beatles days, they said they were more popular than Jesus. Or John Lennon had said that.
Yeah, but he apologized.
Yeah, he apologized for that. And in that Plastic Ono Band, he says, "I don't believe in Jesus." That's one of the lyrics. He says, "I don't believe in Jesus." So this Mark David Chapman, who of course was a loony, he was crazy. But he said later, when he was apprehended, he was upset about some of the lyrics that Lennon had wrote and some of the things he had said had upset him or whatever. But like I said, you can find a picture of Mark David Chapman getting his autograph, getting John Lennon's autograph, before he goes and shoots him dead with a pistol. And he was with Yoko Ono. They were walking down the street, walking right out of their apartment, I think. When
right out of the apartment building, yeah. Best I can remember.
They're standing there with Yoko, and he shot John Lennon dead. And I remember hearing that on television and just being floored, just couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe that John Lennon was dead and that he was killed. That someone just shot him dead. Like I say, like JFK or anything like that. But it's hard to believe something like that would happen.
Yeah.
These days it's not hard to believe, but back then that was pretty shocking. To hear that someone would do something like that.
It's very, very, very sad. Yeah.
But anyway, thank you, Tex. He says he's got to get going. Thanks for letting me hang out anytime.
Oh,
Tex.
thank you, Texas. Thank you.
Anytime in the world, of course. We love to have you.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate it. Appreciate you joining. I feel like our viewers that make comments, they're 90% of the show. Come on now. I appreciate y'all.
And we'll say, as we do on every show, if you're watching this, would you please give us a thumbs up?
Yeah.
Particularly
share.
Share it. Spread the word. I've been getting a few more people joining the channel. Last couple of days, I've got you get an email when someone joins your YouTube channel. Got some new members, and but yeah, and he says you're welcome. Thank you, Tex. But
yeah.
Okay.
So my turn.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I think you like this group more than I like this group, but I love this song, REO Speedwagon. It came out in the 70s. I'm not sure when. Back on the Road Again.
Yeah.
That's such a good one, right? Then 1970, Chicago came out, 25 or 6 to 4. And I love that too.
Yeah.
And, and then the last one that I'll do and then hand it back, the Kinks, they put out Lola.
Lola.
Not, 1970. Yeah. Yeah.
And what is the song? You really got me. You really got me.
Got me now.
What's
Yeah.
the song? You really got me. Damn. Anyway, what is the
You
song?
really got me
You
where
really
I
got me or
don't know
something like
what I'm
that.
don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a lot of good ones. The Kings. Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. When this album came, this one doesn't have that feature. But when this album first came out, you could unzip the zipper. You could take the zipper.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
You could actually pull the zipper down. It had an actual zipper on the album cover. Now this one is just a picture. It doesn't have an actual zipper. But
Yeah.
this is the Sticky Fingers album, and of course the Rolling Stones.
That was the first 8-track. I'm saying 8-track that I had in my '66 Chevrolet was Rolling Stones.
Yeah, and of course it was. There's Mick Jagger, one of the most. I'm trying to think as far as a personality,
Charismatic.
charismatic rock star.
Yeah, I love this little prince.
He strutted like a chicken, strutted like a rooster, and spun and strutted, and they may still be on tour. They put out a new album.
I think they are. I think they are. Honestly.
Yeah. Now their drummer Charlie Watts passed away.
Yeah.
Which is sad. But they got another drummer. But everyone else is in Ronnie Wood and was it Mick Jagger and of course Keith Richards. Keith Richards looked 110 when he was 20 years ago. He looked 100, and he still is. He's soaking in the blood of newborn babies or something. Some sort of ritual that he's performed to.
He found the fountain of youth.
Yeah, fountain of youth
for longevity.
Keith Richards, of course, a great guitarist, Keith Richards. But Mick Jagger is one of the most charismatic singers there ever was. And of course, here's their lip symbol, Rolling Stones. But anyway, there's Mick there with his mouth. I mean, he had those big old lips, kind of like me. He's got them lips. But there's Mick there. Yeah, strutting.
Oh, they look like babies, don't they?
He was a strutter. He liked to strut.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gyrating and strutting and jutting his hips out and spinning around.
The little skinny thing.
Yeah. Yeah, Mick Jagger. But then, of course, there's all kinds of songs,
They had tons and tons and tons.
I know it's only rock and roll, but
didn't they put out? No, who put out Mississippi Queen?
I know what you mean. No, who did that? Was that Leonard Skinner, Mississippi Queen? You know what I mean?
I don't know. It might be them. But that song comes to mind.
Yeah. But Shatter, don't shatter.
Yeah.
And I know it's only rock and roll, but I
like it.
But there's countless songs that
but Rolling Stones was my very first 8-track CD. Well, cassette. There's this big. There wasn't no CD to them. The cassette, and they were huge, Yeah. And I'd play it, and it would do like cassette, so you'd have to pull it out every now and then and wind it back. But it play. Oh, I think I might have gave it away or something. It never did quit playing for me. It played good, Okay, my turn.
Yeah, and let's see. Let's see. No. So I think we had more comments, but not yet. Yes, ma'am.
That's okay. We're here. We rock it a little while longer.
We made an hour, so we've done good.
Bachman Turner Overdrive. Give me your money, please. And they also did the Midnight Special.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I keep knocking my paper off. I got just a little table. Also, Steely Dan, Do It Again. 1973, they came out with that, and Midnight Special. And then Deep Purple.
Now I really like Steely Dan, but I'm sorry to interrupt you, but uh, and I could be wrong about this. I'll have to look it up on the internet, but I believe their name derives from a vibrator.
Steely Dan.
Steely Dan. I think that's kind of a nickname for a woman's vibrator.
Huh. What
Now,
about, did you like Deep Purple?
I like Deep Purple. Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think. Name some songs that they did.
Black Knight is my favorite. And they came out with it in 1972.
But keep going.
Okay, let's see. How about we go with Three Dog Night, 1972. I've never been to Spain, but I've been to Oklahoma. And then, of course, let's go back to Eric. 1977, Eric Clapton came out with I Shot the Sheriff, but I did not shoot the deputy.
Oh, yeah. I love that song. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, okay, now to go back to Steely Dan, I was wrong.
Oh, no.
It's not a woman's vibrator. The name Steely Dan was pulled directly from the novel Naked Lunch, which is a weird William S. Burroughs novel. But anyway, the novel features a character wearing a steam-powered dildo in an explicit.
Well, you knew it related somehow. There you go.
So the steam-powered dildo was called Steely Dan.
Ooh.
So that's where they got their name. It's from a steam-powered
dildo. Well, see, you know it was together, somehow. Okay. Your turn.
Okay. All right.
I know I get excited talking about some of your picks and vice versa, and we kind of forget.
Yeah. Well, now we're kind of getting, this is not everyone, even I don't like a lot of his stuff, but the stuff I do like of him, I really like.
Yeah.
And there's some concerts you can find on YouTube where he is wailing on the guitar. Man, he could go.
We done talked about Prince.
Yeah, we done talked about Prince. This isn't Prince.
Okay.
This is Frank Zappa.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And his group was called the Mothers of Invention.
Yeah.
Now, he did very strange music. He would have sound effects, and he'd have an artist that would play their instrument sort of off key sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And they'd put on some sort of bizarre show they'd have like puppets and shit, Frank Zappa would put on these weird, kind of, performance art kind of pieces.
Did he do movies?
What's that?
Didn't he do something with movies?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. He did at a concert and movies made into concerts made into films.
Yeah, I thought so.
But Frank Zappa, when he would settle down and play that guitar, man, he could go. And
tear it up, huh?
Concerts where it's him and it's several artists playing different instruments. And they trade back and forth. Like, Zappa will play on his guitar for like 10 minutes, and then it'll go to a guy playing like a saxophone, and he'll really wail on that. And then a guy playing the bass or something. And they would trade, moments in this song. Just really, very talented musicians. But yeah, Frank Zappa, and he was out there. Frank Zappa, he like the Mothers of Invention. He would do some weird songs. They were almost like parody songs,
Yeah,
almost what you would hear like the Weird Al Yankovic, it's almost that kind of weird, some of his songs. But also he would do some really good, just, almost jazz music.
yeah.
But the way that they would play in their concerts, it would just, songs would go on for like 30 minutes,
Yeah.
trading different, instruments and playing different instruments and just, But yeah, he was very unique, Frank Zappa. Very unique guy, very, very original artist. Frank
Eccentric,
Zappa.
but
Yeah, eccentric. There you go. He was eccentric.
I hung something up behind me back here so it doesn't seem like it's so barren. I hung up. It's a Chinese calendar, is what it is. So it's got some beautiful graphics on it. Oh, look at
That
Joe's
that
garage.
is, and thank you, sir, for saying that. Phantasmat says Joe's Garage, and that's one of the concert films that Frank Zappa put out, and it's very unique, very weird, but it's very entertaining.
That's what I like. We know Bowie. Come on
Yeah,
now. You
yeah, I
know.
love Bowie. Uh, and
Yeah.
that's another one we're going to bring back, and we're going to do another one of these, and Bowie's going to be on the next one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That's your prince. My
yeah,
prince is
that is what that might be my Prince's Bowie. Uh,
yeah, it is always and that's cool. I see any
yeah,
stuff I find of him every now and then. I think it's obscure, and you're like, "Thanks, sis, seen it." I'm like,
yeah.
"Oh well, I tried."
Well,
Um,
I like, and I don't think I don't know if I have any Devo with me or not, but Devo, uh, Bowie, Laurie Anderson, artists that would get sort of like what I when I talked about performance art, doing stuff that would be a little strange, a little offbeat, a little weird, uh, but
that's what makes
Bowie could do that. He could do very mainstream stuff, but he could also do stuff that was sort of out there, sort of unique.
Stardust.
Yeah, art, uh,
Yeah.
and and but like I say, we're going to do this again. We're going to do another one of these
Oh
music.
yeah, yeah. Do
So
you want to stay on a little longer? I got a few more.
I'm in nowhere as long as we're staying connected. Yeah. So
Yeah, make it up for lost time.
yeah,
Yeah, we just been on a little over an hour.
yeah.
Um, here's a band that I discovered back in my dancing days that I just couldn't get enough of. Doobie Brothers. Listen to the music. I loved everything, and
Taking it to the streets.
yeah, we
Taking it
used
to
to.
the streets.
A lot of us teenagers from the small town would go over to Waco, which is a bigger city from where we grew up, and we would go to the clubs. And so we could dance because when you're in a small town, the only time they have dances is when the high school would get the National Guard Armory and everybody pitch in and have a band come, and play. So we were starved for places to go dance. Okay, let's go back to the Rolling Stones, 1971, Brown Sugar.
Yeah.
Remember that one? Okay,
This was
and
about a slave girl, I believe. Uh,
I
I,
don't know.
I think that's what that song is about. It's about a slave girl. I think.
Yeah, and then sorry, I follow these YouTubers and they'll pop up on me. Um, Another band that I liked, Hall and Oates,
Oh yeah.
1976. She's gone. She don't. I wish one of us could carry a little bit of a tune. You couldn't do much for copyright, but if I can't carry no tune in a bucket. Okay, so let's go down to a band that I think you like as well as I like. ACDC.
Oh man.
It's a long
Well,
way.
that'll be on our a future show.
It's a long. Well, let me finish. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and
You want to
roll.
rock and roll? Yeah.
I love ACDC. When I ran across that, and see the problem of it
Hang
is
on, you keep talking.
either I get to researching them, and then it makes me want to go and pull them back up on YouTube and play more of their music.
My this was, I believe, was it my sophomore year or junior year? Uh, Black Cat, my head Black Cat annual, and this is when this album came out. And I think one of my, I think it's a great title for the annual and a great cover. Back in Black.
Yeah,
And
you
so
know what?
there's the football.
Yeah, I'll
You
be
know,
right back.
it's the Bahia Black Cats,
Yeah,
and here it is, 82,
back in
and
black.
Back in Black. Back in Black. Yeah. And it's when the album came out, and one of the greatest albums ever made. Back in Black. Uh, and what is it? The singer, is it Bon Scott? Is that his name? That, the former singer had died. What was it? A drug overdose. And so they had a new singer. Had a very gravelly voice. He's pretty much screamed when he sang. So it was a new sound, but it was a great sound for AC/DC. Sort of changing their style a little bit with this new singer, Back in Black, and yeah, that's the high school annual. That's what there's a black cover with the black cat, Mahia Black Cat on the cover, and Back in Black as the title. Very cool. But yeah, AC/DC, like I say, we'll do more of these music shows because there's so many that we haven't covered or we're not talking about that we can talk about. But and Kathy's still gone. So, oh wow, Kathy is still away. Let's see. Okay. Now here's a group, another one that there's countless songs that I could name that are great songs. But and I remember I had heard of them, but if I'd heard their songs, I didn't associate it with the group name. I'm sure I'd probably heard some of their songs, but just didn't associate it with, didn't know what the name of the group was. So I had bought a cassette. Yeah, back in the day, that's one of the ways you could listen to music was on cassette. And I bought a cassette of this group's first album and sat there, and it starts off, you hear lightning and thunder, and then you hear this long guitar, bow, and then this voice comes in, and the voice was Ozzy Osbourne, and the group was Black Sabbath.
Yeah. Love me some Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath. And this is a kind of a greatest hits. It's got Paranoid. I love the opening lyrics for Paranoid. Finished with my woman because she couldn't help me with my mind.
There you go.
Finished with my woman because she could help me with my mind. But it's got the Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, and of course, I am Iron Man. Bow, 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 bada, 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 bow, bow, bow. Black Sabbath, War Pigs, another great song, War Pigs. Tomorrow's Dream, Sweet Leaf. But anyway, Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Kind of early heavy metal. Very dark. Some of the songs are very dark.
Crazy Train.
Crazy Train.
That's my favorite bomb.
Now, I think the Crazy Train, though, is an Ozzy Osbourne song.
It's not.
I don't think it's a Sabbath song. I think it's a Osbourne song when he went solo.
Okay.
I think maybe someone could correct me on that, but I believe Crazy Train is a Ozzy Osbourne solo record, which is, of course, that's another one we could bring up as Ozzy Osbourne. But it's back when he was with Black Sabbath, and of course, he left the group, and they went with other artists and other singers.
Right.
But to me, the Ozzy version of Sabbath is my favorite Sabbath.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's some people that like the other versions of Sabbath, but for me personally, the Ozzy version of Sabbath is my favorite Sabbath. So,
yeah.
But yeah, very great rock and roll, and like I say, kind of early heavy metal in some ways. Black Sabbath, where it got very dark and sinister, and it's kind of creepy and scary. Some songs, the actual the song Black Sabbath, I think it's the first song you hear on the Black Sabbath album, and it's got Satan's in it and the devil and all that. So uh, you know, but and of course Iron Man,
Iron Man.
Iron Man, uh,
Yeah.
and but yeah, great music. But yeah, Black Sabbath. So what do you guys think?
Well, okay. Yeah, I was thinking. My daughter. Okay, there's a CD by these two women that did kind of like singing rap, and I loved it, and I loved it, and it's early recordings, and it came out. I can't say when it came out. It might have came out early mid '80s. Salt and Pepper. Shoot, dude. I loved that. And when my car got wrecked, guess what was it left in the CD player? Because when it got wrecked, she couldn't do nothing. I mean, it was just that's it. Pew! And she said, "Mama," I said, "Yeah." She said, "I think your Salt and Pepper CD was in there." I said, "That's all right, honey. That's okay. Mama, order another one. I need to get over to Half Price Books now." And then my second one is we're going to go back to the Beatles. Ooh, it's glares because it's shiny, but it is Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club
I
Band.
got that. That's not on my stack today, but yeah.
Yeah, Getting Better. I like that. I like With a Little Help from My Friends. Of course, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band song. Um, She's Leaving Home. Being for the Benefit of Mr. Kite. Fixing a Hole. But one of my favorite ones on here is When I'm 64. Will you still feed me? Will you still need
And
me?
of course, all of the living guys are past 64 now. So, uh, uh,
Preach.
uh,
I passed that sucker and
and,
waved at it 4 years
it,
ago.
it ends now. Sergeant Pepper's. I mean, that's in one we could do a whole show just about that album. But it sort of introduced what was called a concept album. It was a big deal when Sergeant Pepper's came out. It sort of changed the landscape of music. Nothing had been put out quite like Sergeant Pepper's before.
Original sound came out in 1967,
Yeah.
and yeah.
But the concept, the idea that the Beatles were sort of portraying another group within the context of the album, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Right.
And just that really shook the landscape of music at the time when that album came out. It was
Lovely Rita, Rita.
Yeah. And it ends one of my favorite Beatles songs. Of course, there's tons of Beatles songs that I love, but one of my favorites is the last song on Sergeant Pepper's called "A Day in the Life."
Yeah.
With the news today, oh boy.
Oh yeah.
And it ends with this single piano note that goes on and on and on and on.
It's beautiful.
It's amazing. Just very creative. The things they would come up with, for the sounds that they would come up with, the musicianship they would bring in, like orchestras into some of their songs, put in big band orchestras. But yeah, A Day in the Life, just a great song. I read the news today. Oh boy, and it changes from Paul McCartney to John Lennon in the lyrics. The perspective changes. With Paul McCartney's being more sort of whimsical, more sort of lighthearted, and then when it gets to John Lennon, it's a little more topical, a little more serious, sounding, and just a great juxtaposition. Those two, the way when they sing in that song, and but and one of the greatest, hang on. Hang on, I've got a message from Melissa. Let me read the message here. No,
Well, if it's not too personal, Jay.
I don't think it's good. I don't think it's personal. Uh,
That's his neighbor. That's his new friend.
there's a rip under my bed. There's a little yellow man in my head. So
Ah,
I think that's a lyric from
yeah, yeah.
Sgt. Pepper. Yeah,
Thank you, Melissa.
yeah. Melissa gave us a lyric. So, uh, but yeah, one of the best albums ever made, Sgt. Pepper. I wish I had it here. I've got the album, but
Yeah.
uh,
You need you a real good turntable, buddy.
I do. Someday I'll get one because I've got too
Yeah.
much vinyl, and I need to be listening to my
And
vinyl.
honestly, that little suitcase thing I had that I brought up there,
Those are shitty. Those are no good.
I got disenchanted with it after a while. That's when I said,
But
here's it. Drop back to the
speaking of Sergeant Pepper, sorry to interrupt you, but I want to
No,
stay on
go ahead.
here. Sergeant Pepper, the song with a little help from my friends, which I talked about yesterday before we were knocked off the internet, about Joe Cocker does an amazing song, amazing version of that. He really wails it, get by with a little help from my friend. But the original singer of the song was Ringo Starr. They let Ringo sing.
Yeah, and he did good, didn't he?
Yeah, and so it's great. And there's only a few songs. Yellow Submarine, Ringo sings that.
Yeah.
You know, we all live in a yellow submarine. We
Yeah.
all live in
I
the
played that. That's on my Beatles CD Greatest Hits.
yeah.
And when the kids were littler, they loved it because they liked hearing. They'd say, "Play the Octopus song, Nana."
Yeah. Well, there's Octopus's Garden. That's
Yes, they loved that. It was cute.
I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden in the shade.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, of course, there's countless Beatles songs. We definitely could do a whole show about the Beatles.
I love another one I like a lot on this is Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Sky with Diamonds.
Yeah, that's another one I like a lot.
Which a lot of people made the association with LSD, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Well, I didn't,
But Lennon said it had nothing to do with that. It was
with
just
drugs.
he
No,
wrote it for his kid. I think he might have wrote it for. I don't think Sean wasn't born yet, but what was it? Julian. I think he might have wrote it for Julian. Something sort of whimsical and fun, for a kid, sort of that would entertain a kid, Lucy.
Yeah.
In fact, it might have been Julian. In fact, it might have been Julian that was drawing something. If I may be mistaken about this, but I think this is a fact. Julian Lennon, who's an artist, became an artist of his own. He put out.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, he was drawing something, and Lennon says, well, "What is that, Jules or Jude or whatever? What is that?" And he says, "This is Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds."
There you go.
And he said, "Well, okay." And so he started scribbling. He got out his notepad and started scribbling some shit down. And so, but that's what he said. He was a drawing, and it was, I guess, of a flying woman or something like that. What is that?
Yeah.
He said, "This is Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds."
There
Okay.
you go.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a song. And the song "Hey Jude," "Hey Jude,"
Yeah, know it well.
that was written. Jude was Julian's nickname, Jude.
Oh,
So it was, that's where they got it from, Julian, Jude. Hey Jude.
yeah.
And so yeah, they would take things from real life and things like that to make their songs,
Yeah.
inspirations and stuff like that. But yeah, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, I think it was just a drawing that his kid had made, and he asked him what that was, and he said, "Well, that's Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds." Well, okay.
Yeah, kids have such good imagination.
Yeah.
John, my 11-year-old grandson, y'all, he loves to draw, and he's excellent at it. He is an excellent artist. His 9-year-old sister, well, I love her. But her talent falls in teaching her stuff, teaching her own self how to crochet and knit. And, she's more of a physical type artiste, But John, every now and then, I'll say, John, draw me something. What do you want me to draw you? I don't care. You
Well,
know,
I'm showing on my ankles here. I've got a bunch of these, different kind of anklet things and all that. But anyway, here's a black and red. These two things.
crochet. Yeah,
Dot crocheted these for me.
yeah. His great niece. She's 9.
Yeah.
Okay, well now listen. I know, and I didn't get my big CD holder. I just got the visor one and brought it in here. See, but the big one I'll save for next time because we can go on with a bunch of stuff there. But there's one group we didn't mention, and one group I want to revisit real quick with you. 1976, the original Hotel California came out. Eagles. Sorry, they're so shiny they'd blind us if I did that. But most people loved Hotel California. Okay, I like Hotel, but Victim of Love is my favorite song on that. And then also they did Wasted Time, and then it's the fourth one, and it's a 4 minute 55. And then Wasted Time reprised is on here. New Kid in Town, and that's sad because New Kid in Town, you just feel left out. Life in the Fast Lane, but I think to me, Try and Love Again and Victim of Love is my favorite ones off this album, entitled Eagles Hotel California.
Yeah, yeah, probably their most famous album, although they put out several
Yeah, in
really
76.
popular albums. But the
The
Hotel
original.
California is probably that's their pinnacle, probably their most popular song, Hotel California.
Yep.
But yeah, they did a lot of great music. But okay, well, I tell you what, I'm going to give one more, and then I guess
And then, well, if you give one more, let me revisit.
I'll let you give one more. Let me give one more,
Yeah.
and this one, it's not really obscure because he's a really popular musician, but this goes into jazz, and I never listened to a lot of jazz, but on a whim, I got this album, and I don't think I got it like at a garage sale or anything. I think I actually bought it at an actual store. I could be wrong about that, but I think I did. But anyway, Miles Davis.
Oh, I love Miles Davis. I love jazz.
Yeah.
Cole Porter.
And this album is called Kind of Blue, which may be his most popular album. And it's him and several other musicians. And I'm trying to think, I don't think it would be anyone, it probably may not be one you would recognize if I named them. But, and of course, him, playing the trumpet, he was a great trumpet player, Miles Davis. But this Kind of Blue, I love this album.
Yeah.
I love the music. I love the musicianship, and I just love the songs on that album, Kind of Blue.
Yeah.
But Miles Davis, yeah. And that's something I never did listen to a whole lot of jazz. Not saying I wouldn't like it. It's just something I never grabbed.
Yeah.
But that album, I love that album. Kind of Blue, Miles Davis. Okay, so
There's some lesser known Prince music that are blues, and I'll try to remember more of them next when we do another show. I wanted to revisit Tom Petty. The reason why I knew I had the CD and I knew some of the songs weren't coming to me when you were talking about him. And this, I bet you this CD I played 50 times. A Mind with a Heart of Its Own, Zombie Zoo, Dancing at the Zombie Zoo, Free Falling. There's not, I don't think there's one. And then my very, very favorite song on here is I Won't Back Down.
Yeah. I
Love is a long road, a face in the crowd, running down a dream. Are you kidding me?
Running down a dream. Oh God, yeah.
Well,
like I say, he had just so many great songs. Tom Petty did, either as a solo artist or with the Heartbreakers.
Depending on You, You're So Bad. The whole CD I love, and then I've got two or three more of his, but this is just entitled Tom Petty Full Moon is this one, this album. And I had the album, but I got rid of a bunch of my albums moving a couple of times. Thank goodness I hadn't had to move a lot in my adult years, but I said, well, I'll just get rid of it, and
And
go.
also, since you're bringing up Tom Petty, one of the last things I'll bring up, he did an album. Who all was in that? Roy Orbison. Uh, anyway, the Traveling Wilburys. Wilburys.
Oh yeah. I have that somewhere.
I do, and somewhere I've got that too. I've got the CD.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was Tom Petty, Bob Dylan, George Harrison, Jeff Lynne, and Roy Orbison. Yeah, Roy
There
Orbison.
you go.
So talk about a super group. It was what they call a super group.
Yeah.
Of course, George Harrison of the Beatles and Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another one we can bring up. Oh, Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
But and Jeff Lynne, I think was in Jefferson Starship, I believe. Jeff Lynne. And Roy Orbison. Oh God, Roy Orbison. That's another one. And a lot of great songs. Roy
Oh
Orbison.
my gosh. Can't you get and then
That voice, that soprano voice.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes. Makes you just have chills listening to him sing. I mean, he don't even need to be accompanied. But yeah, and like I said, please let's do another one soon.
We
Because
will definitely. We may be. I know we'll at least do one more of these, but we may be two or three more of these.
Ray Charles is coming to mind.
Oh God.
Tom Jones is coming to mind.
Like I say, the Devo. I haven't gotten to Rush yet. I haven't gotten to Pink Floyd yet. We've touched on Led Zeppelin, but I definitely want to talk some more.
Oh no, you could do a deep dive into Led Zeppelin.
Oh God, Talking Heads, and then more recent stuff like Beck, and
April liked Beck. She used to listen to Beck quite a bit.
But oh God, and the Tool. Anyway, yeah, we could do a really deep dive into this, and we definitely will do at least.
Yeah. Oh, please. Yeah. Because I didn't get my CDs. This was all research online and watching some videos.
Well, that's the thing. I've done mostly vinyl here, but I've got a ton of CDs I can bring. But we definitely will do another one of these, and I'm thinking we'll probably do at least three of them. We'll do a trio at least, probably.
Well, I appreciate it because I can get it together. Give me about 3 days, like you did. You're good about that. Say, okay, how about on this day we go into here, and I'm like, okay, that'll work, and that'll help me get it together. The very last song I'll say is come from 1964. Jay Manfred Mann put out. Here she comes, just a walking down the street, singing do what diddy dum diddy do, clapping her hands and shuffling her feet, singing. Oh, look at you, Jeff Lynne, Electric Light Orchestra.
Yeah, that Jeff Lynne who was in the Traveling Wilburys. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Max Rule, is that
the Max Rule? Yeah, Max Rule.
Thank you for coming, Max Rule.
Well, we got Texas HXCX 1965 who left us. Fabs Matt and Max Rule, and we've got Adam who talked about Def Leppard. And so, we've had us a little group here.
Yeah, we have. And please give us a thumbs up and share this video to help Jay's channel.
If you happen to be just coming across this and you're liking and enjoying what you're seeing, please give us a thumbs up and please, maybe tell folks about us and spread the word. Because like I say, I've got a couple of new members the last few days. So,
and
just out of the blue, I'll get an email saying, "Oh, this person joined your channel," or whatever, So,
and this is part 2 of what we started yesterday.
Yeah, so this is kind of like an extension of yesterday's.
Yeah,
we'll call yesterday and today part 1.
Oh, okay, yeah, because there were some technical difficulties.
We got knocked off internet. And,
I know. I was just going, and I looked, and you were spinning, and I said, "I've lost my host."
Yeah. I can see you stayed on for a while, but then
I said, "No, it gave me not long, Jay. It gave me about another minute, and then it
and
Kick
then
me
we
off.
both win. Yeah.
Yeah. But
But this
thank
one,
you for having me. I
we
appreciate everybody that visited us. And,
definitely, and yeah, we'll think about our next show. May be part two. It
I
might
would
be,
love for that to be.
yeah. Because, like I say, just talking about music is something we could do several shows.
Well,
And
we,
it's been entertaining too, because whenever you bring up somebody or I bring up somebody, it brings up a memory that you
there
have.
we go. Whoa, I know.
Yeah, brings up a memory that I have of that artist or that music, and of course, who we talked about probably the most is but
That's my main man,
Rich
Prince,
Evans man, but mine too. I
Mhm.
love Prince,
I
love his
know you do. When I first started talking to you about my love for Prince, you're like, I love Prince too. I said,
song.
no, I didn't
In
realize you
fact,
liked
I
me.
started listening to Prince before you started listening to Prince. But
Well, that was
I,
before
I got that.
that.
I never got to see him live, so
Now listen, that's an argument we will roll around out in the yard over
yeah.
because unless you started listening to him in '79, I
I
got.
remember going to the old Walmart in my head, the old one, back when it was just that.
I've been listening to him since '79.
Well, okay, but anyway, I bought a cassette. Well, who's that? I said, oh, it's Prince. He goes, oh yeah, I've heard of him. I mean, you said something like that. I've heard of him. I've heard some of his songs, but
That's it. I've
yeah,
heard some of his songs.
yeah, I heard some of his songs, uh, and I think it was the "Around the World in a Day" cassette. I think is what it was.
Yeah.
Uh, but then you uh, became an
Well,
even bigger fan than I did.
yeah. The
I'm a
more,
huge fan, but you were,
yeah. Well, they started putting out more stuff, and I started jerking it
yeah,
up as quick as I could.
yeah. Uh,
Yeah. So yeah, that's when I started. No joke. In '79 is when I started listening
mm.
seriously to him. Um, but yeah. Um, I really have enjoyed it. I do appreciate you. And see, we got to understand too, Jay, not everybody was brought up in a musical family like ours. Was we all playing instruments? No, sir, we wasn't.
Well, no, but
But our
no
father,
matter how old you are or how young you are, everybody listens to music.
well, not all households listen to a variety of music like we did.
Well, no, and when we speak about a variety of music, we're talking about all
Genres,
all genres and all in just several years. I mean, because
decades.
when I would go to bed at night, I had a little twin bed next to my mom and daddy's bed, and daddy would turn on at 10 o'clock at night. He'd turn on the radio, KBUS AM station, and it was the Bill Mack show. Uh, and he played old country, old bluegrass. So I would go to bed, I'd go to sleep listening to old country music with my daddy,
Yeah.
playing the Bill Mack show on KBUS AM station. He had an old box radio. He had little plastic box radio and playing the Bill Mack show. Um, so I grew up with everything. Having my sister here, who was kind of a hippie, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
you were 9 years older than me, so you know, you turned me on to so much, the rock and roll music and comedians, Cheech and Chong and
George Carlin.
George Carlin. Uh, you really opened my eyes to another world that
Well,
but
I'm glad I helped.
yeah, but I got a real variety. When you talk about a musical household, we heard everything.
Yeah,
We
we
heard,
did. And my daddy didn't believe in leaving the TV on all the time, like people do now. He played music. He
yeah,
always had some kind of music. And in his workshop where he did small engine repair, when we had the marina and I got old enough to run the little concession stand, he was down in his workshop playing music. You know
mm.
what I mean? We always had music going on.
And like I say, at the concession stand, they had the jukebox, you know, and
Speakers
particularly,
out back too, where you
yeah,
could hear it all over the
it
ground.
had a
Well,
game
most of the
room,
ground.
had pinball machines and things like that, and had a jukebox. Uh, always something was always going on the jukebox. So there was always music playing and just all styles, country and rock and roll and pop music, and just yeah.
Yeah, so we were really kind of blessed more than some people. Some families might have only been able to listen to gospel music, and that was it. Nothing else was allowed, especially them years. But we were blessed because we had a daddy that loved all kinds of music, and he turned me on to blues when I was 9. Come here, sis. Come here. Muddy Waters. Are you kidding me? And
Yeah.
so I've had a huge, Cab Galloway. I've had a huge influence from our dad on blues from a very young age. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So anyway, I appreciate you doing this. I've enjoyed the heck out of it, and I look forward to
Well,
doing
and like I say,
it.
this may very well be our next show. Will be the part 2.
Well,
Okay, we'll sort of continue on this trajectory because this is a good one, and like I say, this one has really kind of got me going and got you going. Just
oh
talking
yeah,
because like when you bring up something that triggers a memory for me and me for you, and just talking about all these different artists and all that, and just the first time you'd heard them and different songs that you really like and that sort of stuff. So yeah,
and where you were, yeah,
yeah, where you were and all that.
music is truly memories for a lot of people. It really is.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say adios, and
Okay, Chris.
I'll talk to you all.
Yeah. Okay, and I'm going to do that too. I'm going to sign off, and one time I'm going to say this ad nauseum, but I'll say it one more time. Please give us a thumbs up if you're watching this and you like what you're seeing. Please give us a thumbs up, and spread the word if you like it. You're enjoying these shows, being real. Please tell folks about it and get people to watch us, and hope to get some new members to join the channel. And good that we didn't get cut off tonight and we were able to get through this. Okay, guys, we'll see y'all soon. Thank everyone that is tuned in today and has spoken up, and appreciate all of y'all for doing that. And I'll see you guys soon. All right. Bye-bye.